Stop what you're doing and tune in from coast to coast. It's the Howard Hour with your host with the most, Howard 702 LV.
And that's me. Yes. What's good? What's good? It's your boy HT. Howard 702 is getting tripping like a kid untied shoes. If you don't know the vibe, now you see the move. Welcome to the Howard Hour Live, to be exact. And this Friday night, and we coming live, and that's a fact. Man, welcome, man. Again, this is the Howard Hour Live. If you don't know where you're at, welcome. This is a place of establishment for myself to you. I just want you to be comfortable as I am with you. You feel me? But not even just that, folks. This is another end to another week. I don't know about y'all if you had a crazy week. I don't know if you had a sweet week, and I don't even know if you had even just a good week. But you made it to the end of another week, folks, and that means you get to recharge, reset, and get ready to go at the next week, folks. But not even with this whole week that we've been having going on, folks. I'm getting ready to have a little fun-filled week. I'm getting ready to head out next week, y'all, and I'm gonna have fun with that. But not even that's with that. I am getting to go, and go be a part of the All Expo right there in Long Beach, California next week, folks. Is going on from June 18th to the 20th. If you don't know what the All Expo is, it is the Augmented World Expo that is going on. It's one of the biggest XR VR conferences that they do across the state. And not even just that, this is their 15th year, and it is going long, it's going strong, and it's going like a Viagra joke. But no, not even just that, folks. They're gonna have some of the world, some of the world best tech leaders that's gonna be there. Not even just that, but innovators, a whole creative space, and man, they're gonna have some of the best new age technology that's out. Not even just that, they're able to show new XR and VR components that's not even out to the public yet. And man, the Howard Hour Live, folks, is going to be live there, folks. I don't know about y'all, but I am excited with that. We get some confetti in the air. The metaverse is really going there, you feel me? But yes, man. The All Expo 2024, really check out. They will have it being live stream, man. We have a couple of our metaverse people that's gonna be popping up there. Man, the main lady herself, Miss Joy Rain, she will be up on the stage up there speaking on one of the panels too. So make sure you get to check out and just show some love, man, to the metaverse peeps that's on there. But not even just that, folks, with this whole week that we've been having. Man, I don't know if y'all know, but we had a little movie come on. I'm saying little, but we had a little quadruple just come out, and it's like making waves, folks, like a surfer. And I don't know if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the great hit they have Martin Lawrence and the great Will Smith, not the slappified, but the one that been Mike Lowrified. And you don't know what I'm talking about, man. Bad Boys 4 came out, folks, and hey, it wasn't a flop, man. They pulled in $106 million already, man, for the opening weekend all the way up to now, and we haven't even counted what's going down with this weekend already, with how many people seeing it. But man, with this whole storyline that's going on with Bad Boys 4, it is actually a great conclusion to how they're doing with the whole series. And then also, man, they're talking about in works. They talking about trying to make this like the new Fast and Furious. So I don't know how far we can see again Will Smith and Martin Lawrence go across on the street, and go across on the scene, like all on the scene. But man, shout out to Bad Boys 4. Make sure you go and check it out. Go to the theaters, folks. Don't watch it at home yet because it's bootleg and it's not good to watch. But yes, folks, we're keeping this thing rolling like a locomotive. And man, getting on to tonight with what y'all going for. excuse me. I'm sitting here all stopped up from this man weather change down here. But man, folks, we got a special show tonight. Y'all know me. Before I even got into this talk show host format, not even this talk show host, before y'all heard about with the Howard Hour, y'all just seen Howard, you feel me? And not even just that, man. I started this thing, and I'm still in this thing as an artist. And when I say artist, I'm not talking about like Da Vinci or sitting there like being like John Legend. No, I'm talking about as an artist, I do hip hop. And if you don't know what hip hop is that beat that you feel in your chest that goes to a rhythm. Hip hop is the tune that you have in your ear that you just can't get out. And I mean, it's a beat that you just have to tap your foot to. Hip hop is a revolutionary change that can make your style be to a whole different approach, can make your language be to a whole different era, and then also have your mind to a whole different realm. Hip hop man been around, if I'm not mistaken, since the cool days of if I'm saying it right, if y'all don't crash me down, but 1978, when they was able to, show out and have some good parties, and it was real DJs partying, and all the way, man, we just end up having an anniversary with hip hop. How many years? How many years? If I'm saying it right, man, we just made what 50 years, 50 years with hip hop, and not even that's that, man. It is something that you're seeing that's going way beyond borders, going way beyond languages. It's going way beyond all of us people. It even got to the point of being in this fine establishment we call the metaverse. And folks, when I say hip hop, man, I'm just not talking about, oh, we just gonna say hey, ho, yay, go. No, talk about hip hop that makes you sit there and be like, man, that was a lyric, man, that is stuck on my mind. And hey, 30 years later, you can sit here and just talk about, hey, is that the greatest line ever, or who can compete to it? And that's what hip hop made, and that's what hip hop is making. But man, let's get it way beyond the talks of hip hop. I get it way beyond to the point again, it's in the metaverse, and these two individuals that I'm bringing to the stage tonight are showcasing that. One, being an artist themselves, and know the insides of the ropes in this mug like Ali in the ring, and then another that been around. Hey, I mean, no old status, but been around since with the start of hip hop. And I say this thing with all love. I say this thing with all insight, and I say this thing with all. This is amazing to see, folks. These two dynamic men are bringing to a stage, bringing to a table that never been seen before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they have a show on here. Hey, shout out to Lux Vision Studios because that's what it's showing on too, man. Bigger than hip hop podcast. And I don't know about y'all folks, but man, this is something that is really making, making waves and turning pages. And I'm so honored to have these two individuals come to the stage tonight, man. So I really need y'all to give it up, throw some confetti in the air, wave around like you just don't care. For these two hosts, these great hosts, and not even as that, these two creators of this great show that we see on here, and you catch it every week. Yes, folks, they do this every week in this hot seat. But not even as that, man, it's something that's so sweet to see, and I'm so glad that y'all get to experience this with me tonight. So really need y'all to give it up for the great Miss Yo Afro and Meta Clean Rupert. Yeah, that's right there. Hop on the stage. There we go.
What's up? What's up? What's up,
Hey,
Howard?
What's
hey,
good? Hey, yay.
hey, what's popping with you?
How you
What
doing?
is
What's
How
up,
you
going
doing?
everyone?
on?
What's good? What's
Hey,
good?
yo, what is popping, y'all? What is popping?
Peace to
Hey,
everyone. Thank y'all
Yeah,
for
man,
coming out.
confetti for
word
real, man.
up.
Confetti
Thank
in there, man. I don't know
you.
if
I
y'all
didn't even
sleep.
turn around to see everybody. Yo, what's up?
No,
What is
man.
popping?
Man,
Appreciate
first
y'all.
off, man,
Appreciate y'all.
thank y'all for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
I know it's again, I know it's a different time zone, and I know it's already late in a different time zone. You feel me? So to really to sit there and even have the time out of your day, I thank y'all,
Well, I
man.
didn't know if this was an adult show or the kid show because the facial hair is throwing me off,
Oh,
man.
yeah, I had to go baby face. You feel me? And not sing to the mic, but no, yeah, I shaved up. This is something I do every summer. I tell everybody do it every summer. Either trim it up or I shave it. And lo and behold, I was doing it on live and I messed up a little bit. And I was like, I can't go around with the stash like this, so I just gotta just shave the whole face. Go Homer Simpson. My lady was mad. I had to sleep on the couch for like 2 days. but man, but man, I'm just gonna even just get down to the nitty gritty, man. Because again had both of y'all on the show already, and I'm in this that. How did this merger come about with you two? Like, because this is something that I mean I never thought to see, but it's amazing to see. Like, how did this come about?
Man, I mean, well, we started working together for the car show. I mean, in fact, that's where I was able to meet you.
First
Yeah,
So
time I
how we
we
met
first
you.
met.
all, right, that's how we all, and yeah, and we just started hanging from there. Like, I mean, we just clicked, like the same things, and and I'm definitely going forward with supporting hip hop in the metaverse, and Meta Queen was all for it as well. And I mean, we just clicked right there. That's what brings us together is hip hop all the
Yeah,
way.
for sure. I think we see a lot of performances in here, man. And at the car show, I think she performed Cedric and Cedar, and I was just like she could see me in the crowd, like really dancing for real, like
Mhm.
head nodding. I was just like, yo, just the energy was just crazy.
Mhm.
I love hip hop, man. I grew up in hip hop. Hip hop, I say always, I give it credit for saving me from doing the reckless things that young boys can do growing up in an urban environment. And hip hop was just there for me, man. And Fro embodies hip hop to the fullest, and I appreciated that.
Man.
Yeah,
Heard that.
I know that's amazing to hear that. And, hey, folks, like how you say it was at a car show that we was all at. One of the things I always
facts.
say about
Yeah,
this thing with tethering, and that was one of my very first experience with you, Yo Afro, because we got to
Yes.
perform
Yes.
that night together. Well, got to perform on the same stage, and that was my
Mhm.
first time again catching your show. But not even as that, seeing how medically was just saying an embodiment of hip hop like that.
Yes.
Because the only time I was able to see nothing again is no disrespect what people say about with the old school and like new school status. I don't say about that. What I say about when you're there to be really around, like to be stamped in that era, like you can really tell like with the flow. And not even just that,
Yeah.
that's how you can tell like when the certain rappers of like the 2000s, all this and that. Like that's
Right.
one thing I really said about your embodiment,
yeah,
like how you say
facts.
you really carried that hip hop vibe. And
That's right.
again, my first time ever seeing you perform, and then again looked up your catalog and all. I'm like, man, she really out here doing this. Like that was the whole like the whole killer part. Because again, we all day we see people perform all this and
Right.
that, but to really catch that performance, like hold on, hey, like this is like from another like musician to another. Like, oh, okay, she know what she doing.
Yeah,
She affords
facts.
people like
Right.
like
Facts.
how you were saying like this was your first show in the metaverse too. To even
Right.
like do with that, and like you're not even like you wasn't even using a bot at the time. Like you was sitting there, it was live, it was all coming from your end, and it again it brought back flashbacks of it. Because I say I know you've been in the game longer than me, but as I laugh because again being in this metaverse thing, you get to see you know when somebody's a trailblazer status, but you know when
Yeah.
somebody's about to be a planet. And
Right. Right.
hey, you became a planet with
Wow.
this thing because look, you have everybody like gravitate to you. The not even as that,
Wow.
it's a good way. And then like the embodiment that you show, like you started a whole solar system, and that it brings me to my
Yeah.
next question with y'all. Like, like what brought on this bigger than hip hop like format? Like, how did that come about? Because how you say like y'all met at a car show, and then it went from like business terms like was y'all just sitting there like, okay, man, we got blood in our hip hop, like we got hip hop in our blood, so we got to make this stuff on a
Man,
page, or like,
man, can I answer that? Can I?
Go ahead. Yes.
So for those that know me, right, I've never really toted or claimed myself to be a builder. Like, yes, I can build, and just to be clear, I did not build this world. This world was built by Divine Lux Studios. Um, but my builds always usually start with one element, and that one particular element was the Timberland couch. Like I saw a picture on
Mhm.
Instagram. We hopped into build mode together, and I was just like, let's see if we can build this Timberland couch out. But I can't ever. Whenever I create an asset like that, I can't ever stop. So it usually develops into a world around the asset. So it always starts with an asset, then I build a world around it, and then we just got to talking like, man, it'd just be a dope idea to like sit on the couch and conduct interviews. And then one
Mhm.
thing led to another, and both of us being lovers and fans of hip hop, we
Yep.
understand that the music is important, but the culture is also important, right? So for us, it really is bigger than hip hop. It's about life.
That's
Um,
right.
and then one thing just kind of led to another, and boom, there it was.
Just like that. Just like that. I mean, the Timberland couch, she went ahead and that was built within 26 minutes, 23 to 26 minutes.
Right.
Um, came in there and like he said, we was just vibing. So yeah, the beauty of it is that there's so much hip hop throughout the metaverse to where we could do this every week for a long time to
Yeah.
talk about life and how hip hop has influenced everybody, so
Yeah, yeah,
you know what
definitely
I'm
no
saying?
politics, no drama, man. It's just really the
Yeah,
celebration and the love of hip hop, and that's what we want to focus on, man. Because everybody has a really unique story. I love the
absolutely.
talk format, and and just hearing what people like about hip hop and how it influenced them and the things they're doing is just really interesting.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Especially the people that we're bringing up into the space. You know,
Yeah.
it's really interesting to hear how they feel about hip hop and how hip hop is making its move into the digital realm. You know, so it's really big. It's bigger than
It's
hip
bigger than
hop.
hip
Hey,
hop.
it's
Yeah,
bigger than
yeah.
hip hop.
One thing I want to say, man, is like hip hop is just one of those genres, man, where oftentimes we don't respect where it's come from, right? Like you can look at rock and roll, and you can see the Rolling Stones perform until they're 90 years old, and they'll still fill out a stadium, right? Elton John can still fill out stadiums.
Wow.
But hip hop is one of those things, man, that people put a time limit on it, and it shouldn't be that way. Like we have to understand our history in this genre and where we've been and know where we're going, regardless of what you think about, the Uzi Verts or the Sexy Reds or the Curtis Blows or like all of it is really part of the history and it should all be appreciated. So I know for me, growing up in the era I grew up in, right, I don't always necessarily appreciate some of the new music out there now because it's just not my era, right? I don't understand it. I never thought I'd get to the point where I'd be the old person looking up words in the dictionary to be like, what does this mean? Like, Riz took me like a week to figure out what the hell Riz meant. Like, and it's stuff like that. I never thought I'd get too old to understand, right? Because I always understood hip hop, but in the same vein, the young people need to understand our terminology and where it all came from, right? And I think somewhere along the lines we have to marry the two together and understand that this is one genre, we're one community, and we should, at the very least, respect each other, even if we don't appreciate what each other does.
Man, that real merger. Like, hey, word of the night, Pee Wee Herman status. No movie status, but uh that's again,
No,
that's
Diddy.
what man, they it brings a smile to my face because to be an artist and to see again how you say that format, that takes dedication and that just don't come out of place because people you see it all the time on here, not no name dropping and everything. You see people do that and drop the ball with it, especially not like not bringing with the essence of hip hop in here, but bringing like, oh well, this is what I can do with hip hop instead of just worrying about, well, this is the person I can bring behind, or I'm doing this, I'm doing
Right.
that. Like one of the greatest things I've seen about with hip hop in the metaverse was so far like it was my first time ever to do like acting in the metaverse. I got to kick it and do a short film for Kid and Play, and shout out to Harlem Film
Right.
House. That was one of the
Yeah.
great, like one of my greatest experience ever to like do. And not even just that, like two people who I sat here like I grew up on them and like watched their cartoon, and to sit here again like do a short film and I'm like in a metaverse party. I mean, it's not physical. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but to sit there, I'm sitting here with the director, sitting here with Play, like I'm my mind is blown. And not even just that, like I sit here and tell my homies and everything about it. And one of the first things they was like, "Oh, like how you say, like, oh, who the hell still listen to Kid and Play? Oh, like this and that." And I'm like, "Do you hear yourself? Like half of the
Yeah.
dance moves you see are like
I,
house
I do.
parties, like I mean, it's like it's real stuff. How you say it's real stuff that really leaves an imprint, and cats don't understand like where it comes from, or not even just that because they look at the point. Well, oh, this is happening now. Oh, well, these are the has-beens and all this and that. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, like how you say with this hip hop thing, I love to hit up people, love to hit up. And one of the things like I hit up somebody to try to come over to the Howard Hour and is Grandmaster Cass, and this like one thing like again like I never knew there was these many grandmasters. I thought it was a whole clan. Like I'm not gonna even stunt. I'm sitting here like what? Like I'm thinking it's like
Well,
Shaolin
you know
Temple,
what
but
Grandmaster was for us back then is like the little that y'all went through, like little baby, little Uzi, but
exactly.
that's what Grandmaster was for us back then. Yeah.
And that was gonna be my like I said my next thing that I was just bringing up because I was like, oh well, Grandmaster was just must have been like hey like a sudden name or what so, but with just with that approach with hip hop and not even just that like I learned like much more about with his artistry and everything and even to the point like because he had me look up he was like oh you like my style that means you like the Fresh Prince. The Fresh Prince
Right.
like look up and I'm like oh that's who Will Smith dedicated his whole style to. And
Hmm.
I'm sitting here like, man, that's a
Yeah.
cycle. That's a circle. And I'm like, you get to see that with him. And then especially now in the presence with the metaverse, it brings it to one of my next questions with y'all, man. Because y'all both have a metaverse presence. Y'all both are sitting here again dedicated to this like tethering path that y'all see like with this innovation and the innovator, do it become like a overwhelming factor at times with it? Because do you feel like a lot of people are looking at hip hop as a dying breed now, or do you feel like this is like going to rejuvenate a new like life with it?
Hip hop don't stop. I honestly feel like it's just going to rejuvenate. It's definitely going to rejuvenate. It's just too much going on. Hip hop is the newspaper and stories of our streets, our neighborhoods, and that's not going anywhere. That's never going anywhere. So
Yeah.
hip hop is always going to be around. We're going to find some sort of way to find a tune and speak our mind over rhythms and melodies, and that's hip hop. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not going anywhere. And right now in the metaverse, being able to bring even some of the pioneers into the space, they're able to rejuvenate their old music to where some people have never heard of them or were never able to get this close to the artist so that they can
Yeah.
go ahead and appreciate them and rock to their music, and you know what I'm saying? Just have a whole vibe with a bunch of different people. In a digital realm now, we could take it anywhere. We can do as much as we want to do with it. So yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like this is a whole new move. It's going to be around for a long time, and yo, I mean, this is beautiful. They said hip hop was a fad. Yo, look at where we
Yeah.
at,
Yeah. 50
right?
years later.
They
50
I
years
mean, we
later.
talking
Hey,
about hip hop is in commercials, fashion, you know what I
Everywhere.
mean? Like it's
The
everywhere.
metaverse.
It's in everything, and now it's in the
us,
metaverse. Like it's
metaverse.
Right.
Hey, message.
Yeah.
No.
so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like they told me hip hop was in the metaverse. I came to check it out, and yo, they wasn't lying. It's here. It's here. And yo, I'm loving it. I love where hip hop is going, especially in this space.
And
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
Lucius. You ain't gonna take it, Terrence Howard. I already see you already. You've been probably talking about you made the metaverse. Okay, I see what you did. Don't get me wrong. I
Right.
see what you did with some of the VR, but hey man, you ain't do the music aspect, but no. I I love to hear that, Afro, because again, as an artist, that's one of the things I really want to strive for on here. Because my dad makes a joke with me. He said the worst things you can ever do in life at times is either be the first person to do it or be the last.
Mhm.
And I used to always like be at first like, hold on, like what? Like what's that supposed to mean to me and all that? And I've really seen that format because again, I know there was many other artists and everything on the metaverse, don't get me wrong. But to come on
Mhm.
Horizon World at the time that I did and there was no other artists at the time, it was like me and probably
Yeah.
like five other like how we called it Big Bang status. Like
Mhm.
it was weird, but it was like something for because you said like okay, like
Yeah. You
people
were a
used to laugh
pioneer,
when I was
man.
talking about like I was gonna
You
do a
were a
rap show or
pioneer.
do like a car show, huh?
So you were a pioneer for sure.
Oh, and I said, and I laugh with that now
Yeah.
because I said I've never thought I would hear that word with myself, but again, Metaclean, he one of the ones who made me like start to instill that with myself because for the Howard Hour, he said, man, I see you on here. Like he met me through a show, and I mean it's that like all the time. Like again, I'm popping up like a pimple everywhere on here, so I know people are getting tired of me. I know that it is that, but to get to a show format, I mean to get to a format now, hey, I have my own show. I have greats like yourself to talk to. It shows this is what progression is about. Because how you say, like people say that, oh, well, this is supposed to be a fad. Like when I used to tell people I was getting on the metaverse to do something out of it, I was going. People laughed at it. Like I told this all the time. Like my dad was one of my biggest skeptics when I first told him about this metaverse thing. Now he's one of my biggest supporters. This man
See,
went
there you
above and
go.
beyond to help me get to this conference and everything I'm going to next week.
Oh
And that
man.
shows with it all starts with a spark. And how you say, like, with that, you got that hip hop spark. You got that love. Like, you show, like, you got that dedication. I know you got the blood, sweat, and tears, like, admitting, like, how you say, because I heard it in your voice when people say, oh, it's a fad. Like, oh, it's
Right.
not. Like, it's in commercials
Yeah.
and not, it's even in the metaverse. So
That's
it brings
right.
me to like, one of my, again, I've been writing down these questions all week, folks. This question right here, like, I wanted to find, like, a way how to say, to do a pull to it. Do you feel like being an artist that, that, that will basically like being an artist, do you feel like you have a certain ear to watch out for with hip hop, or do you feel like this is just like something to like make a broader approach, if that makes sense?
Um, I definitely have a certain ear, when it comes to hip hop. Uh, there's different levels to it, right? Um, I definitely gravitate more, obviously, to that golden era, that 90s style hip hop, that boom bap, that conscious hip hop. Um, very rarely would you hear me like, and there's no shade, but very rarely would you hear me listening to Drake. I'm not. I just, not for nothing. Not for nothing. No shade.
Drake.
No shade. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And it has nothing to do with the battle between
Can,
him and
can we
Kendrick. Nothing to do with
can we
that.
get a shout out for Team Kendrick? Team
I'm just
Kendrick?
saying. I'm just
Confetti?
saying.
No,
But
no.
I do
Okay.
like me. I do love. Yeah, I'm feeling Kendrick. I am feeling Kendrick, but it has nothing to do with the whole, jump off. However, you know, to me, what does it for me is performance in everything. It's the passion that you got to have in your delivery of your message. Because to me, that's hip hop. I need to believe what you're saying to me. You can't tell me that you're from the streets and, you got to watch out for this in the ghetto and you don't really sound like that. Like, I'm from there and I got to really, really relate to what you're saying, not just hearing you say it. I got to feel it.
We hear you, Jerry. Yeah,
you know
you ain't from. Uh,
I'm just saying,
Facts.
like, it's if it's hip hop, if it's rocking, I call it out the majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? And again, to me, it's performance. Performance is everything, and your delivery. You have to make people really believe. I mean, because, like, again, hip hop, me being as passionate as I am about it, you have to really, really be what you say. However, there's
uh-huh.
performers out there, and that's fine. And when I say performers, you got people who talk big and they're really not about that life, but they want that money, right? Because sex sells, drugs sells, all of that, right?
Yeah.
This is what catches everybody's attention, unfortunately. So I guess this is why I really gravitate towards the conscious rap, the 90s goes, what I mean? It's the boom bap, because there's a little bit more to me. Is that's just where I'm at. That's what I relate to.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like our genre, right? I think is the only genre in music that isn't categorized. Like everything kind of falls under hip hop and nothing else. And I think, as diverse as hip hop is and as many directions as it's gone into, and I think we kind of used to do this a while ago, right? Because we did have like gangster rap and conscious rap, and
Mhm.
we kind of self
Mhm.
categorize the genre ourselves. But man, I just really feel like it's time potentially for us to categorize hip hop to make it really understandable to the content that you're listening to, right? Because a lot of
Mhm.
the hip hop we listen to now is really more like pop music, right? And
Right.
even like when it gets like super raunchy, in this era that we're in now, like I feel like some of that stuff should be categorized now because rock and roll does it, right? You've got death metal, heavy metal, glam rock. I mean, you've got so many
Right.
different genres of rock and roll music, and
Right.
instantaneously when you hear it what to expect. But with hip hop, it's just like, oh, it's hip hop or it's just rap music, and there's no definition between the two, and it all gets categorized under this one big bubble, and I don't think that's necessarily fair because
Mm-mm.
dope people, you know, but again, this is all subjective, and I'm not disparaging anybody's what they listen to in hip hop, but there's things in hip hop I'm just not going to listen to. As much as I love it, I'm not going to turn on the radio and listen to new hip hop a lot of
Right.
times, right? I think there are
Right.
things in it that I do appreciate, but for the most part, I'm stuck on YouTube and I'm going through the 80s and 90s and in the 2000s kind of religiously. Um, but I think the people coming into it now, or especially now, if you don't even understand the genre of hip hop and you just hear hip hop and you assume it's one thing, I mean, it can take you down 100 different roads, and you just never know what you're gonna get. I mean, I can turn on the radio now, and listen to stuff that I'd never be able to hear on the radio when I was growing up. Right now, it's just the
Right.
culture is just normalized
Yeah.
with some of the activities. So that's
Yeah.
just my opinion, man. I wish we can get to a point where we would just like categorize our genre into segments to make it really easy for people to understand.
No, yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. It's like soft porn, like throughout hip hop.
Yeah,
Some of the music
sometimes
that
not
I
so
hear
soft.
today, like, it's not right. It's like, like, I mean, it's like it's
Yeah,
why. Listen,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
mean it's really
you can't
popping up.
let the kids hear it. It's just too much. It's certain things that's just a little bit out there that I know I'm not rocking with. You know.
And that's the whole crazy part with this, like with this music thing, because how you were just saying, medically, like you have hip hop, which don't have like its own like really like category besides just being hip hop, but you
Yeah.
see so many influence from hip hop. Like I was just like again listening to a whole country song that the dude stole, like not stole, but the dude is doing the whole like tipsy song from Jaquan, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and like I said,
Yeah.
you put an 808 to it and everything, and I'm like, everybody, I'm
Right.
like, hold on, like, and I remember
Yeah.
everybody used to make fun of that song like at first, like, one, here
Yeah.
comes the two to the like, because people
Now,
was like, some,
now we
oh, well,
got
like,
country hip hop,
I,
right? Yeah.
Right.
but
Exactly.
not even just that, like, it goes from like again to country hip hop to you even have hip hop with opera music and everything. I was just listening to like one of my favorite artists, Andrea Brosili, and one of
Mm.
his things like somebody did a remix to "Time to Say Goodbye," and they had Tupac playing to it, and I'm like sitting
Wow.
here like, what? Like I mean, my mouth was dropped open, like I could see like mergers like that, because but then it brings me back to the times of like Beethoven. You're not gonna see Beethoven with like a Garth Brooks approach. You're not gonna
Yeah.
Right.
see like, or you're not gonna see like Conway Twitty on a track with Tupac. Like it's,
Mhm.
I mean, like it's certain. Don't get me wrong. Like it will, people like love to see like that aspect, especially with AI like nowadays. But now that will bring me to like one of my final questions with y'all. With this thing that we call AI now, do you feel like that is now going to be a fuel to like either be destruction or construction for hip hop in the metaverse? Like, or do you think like people are going to like either just try to capitalize out for that just to be lazy more? Because I remember you were saying earlier about performances and everything, Afro.
Mhm. Um, unfortunately, I'm not even going to say unfortunately. I'm just saying that, people are going to try different things, so I'm not going to be surprised. I've heard of people in the metaverse already having their own AI artist, so whatever floats your boat, but you just know that you got to come with it. You know what I mean? Hip hop to me, again, it could never be replaced by no robot. I don't care how dope the robot is. I don't care how colorful and shiny, what kind of lights is on that Mickey Ficky. It's not going to be real hip hop. We know this, right? So, I mean, it all depends on how you want to perceive it, how you want to embrace it, but you got to know what it is. That I will stand behind my words and say, now that is not real hip hop because it's AI. It's not real. It's not in the streets. It's never struggled.
Right.
It's never went through the stuff that we've seen. And yo, and real quick, I just want to say this too. Shout out to the DJs because the DJs, they've been blending some dope sounds, vibes for a very long time. This is why we
Yeah.
get the ideas of putting mixes together, dope blends and all of that, the Beethovens and the house music and yada yada yada. So shout out to the DJs for real, because yo, I mean, without you, I don't think that people would even think of going further with AI to blend and do all of that good stuff. So yeah, shout out to the DJs. One of the dopest elements in hip hop, I might add.
Yeah. Yeah. And, for me, man, I'm not averse to AI, man. I think AI can be a good thing if it's used correctly. And I'm just a firm believer that AI itself is not going to replace people. It's the people that use AI that will, right?
Right.
But it's evolution.
Uh-huh.
The before the turntables, there was still rapping that existed, right? Jamaicans were doing it for a while, all through the history of mankind. We've been doing some kind of spoken word and communicating through the music, right? So it's just the technologies advanced and it's evolving, and we just have to adapt to it and understand that we need to still remain in control of the technology. Now, don't get me
Yes.
wrong. I know it's going to happen, right? People are going to
Right.
capitalize on
Right.
it and create these songs made by AI. We can duplicate voices. We can duplicate the way we look. But at the core of it, kind of when an AI song is an AI song, because it's just kind of soulless. You don't feel it. And then what happens with
Mhm.
live performances, right? You're only going to be able to do AI so much before you can get on stage in front of people, and then what happens, right? Because hip
Right.
hop is a very personal thing, right? We know we can go to a hip hop concert and it can make a difference by seeing a performer perform the song and it could either enhance a performance or make it worse, right? We've all
Right.
seen and heard songs that we've loved, and then we go to the concert and we're just like, yeah, that was just so so. And on the flip side, we hear songs that we love and go to the concert and we love it even more, right? I think
Mm.
I mean look at Buster is like one of those people, like Buster 2003, 2004 Buster. His live
Mm,
performances, if you didn't like him after a
crazy.
live performance,
Yeah.
um, there's just elements of the art form that will enhance it. And I don't know if AI is going to be able to get there all the way. Because at some
They're
point, I
not.
think you're just going to have to get on the stage in front of people and rock the mic.
Right.
And
I
that's,
mean, and
that's never going to
again,
be replaced.
nah, nah, and huge salute to the B boys and the B girls. I'm sorry. I mean, the more and
Yeah.
more we're talking about it, I can't help but to think about it. I mean, come on, that's they're part of the elements too. I mean, yeah, he just said it. You can't say it no better than that. Like, yo, shout outs to whoever is creative, right? But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, you're not going to be able to really, really do what it do when it comes to real hip hop with AI. Be as creative as you want, but it's not going to be able to dance and boogie. Now, it's crazy. While we were talking, I was thinking about how back in the day, the B boys and the B girls, the robot was actually one of the things that everybody would get down to
Yeah,
do
right.
too, right?
We was
Now we
doing
Always
got that
AI
mimic,
before
and
robot
now
doing
AI.
look
the
at where we're
robot.
at. Right, everybody could do the robot, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited to see where it's gonna go, period. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every day is something new. We're finding ways to do things. Hip hop's making its way into different areas, different avenues. It's very exciting. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
salute to hip hop.
But,
Word
but
up.
I mean, at its core, right, hip hop is about collaboration, right? Because I don't know if hip hop would have been as successful without the original four elements being brought together, right? Because obviously the MC is super important, but what is an MC without the DJ?
That's right.
And what is a DJ without the dancing? And
Right.
just all the elements just kind of working together and combining together. I mean, I think it's a life lesson, and for a lot of us that grew up in these really urban environments where there was a lot of struggle, and it outwardly seemed that we really weren't getting the things that we needed from our communities in order for us to grow and survive, right? Usually there's a lot of poverty. If there wasn't poverty, there's a lot of latchkey kidism where our
Right.
parents are working jobs and we were coming home by ourselves, and basically the streets and the television were raising us.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of positivity or communication between law enforcement and sometimes even the businesses in our own communities, man. But hip hop was the one thing where it's just like, okay, I'm a dancer, you're an MC, you're a DJ, you're a graffiti artist, you know how
Right.
to dress, all those things, right? And we all have friends that were good at any one of those particular things. Sometimes you have friends that were good at all five of those things, but any one of those particular things coming together, you formed a crew, right? And now we
Hmm.
all were able to contribute into this thing that was basically a fad, right?
Right.
And all had a voices heard, and I think that's what really made the difference and why people gravitated to it, because there was something in hip hop that was accepting of everybody, and you could find your own lane without necessarily having to do everything yourself.
Right.
And that was magical. It really was. And I think it's a lesson that still can be applied into everything we do now. I think the metaverse is no different, right? Yes, you can wear 15 different hats, but we know this thing moves into hyperspace and moves really, really quickly when we allow ourselves and the grace for other people to do the things that they love to do best and then
Yeah.
just work together to that common goal. It's absolutely no different. So thank you, hip hop, for
Absolutely.
teaching me that lesson.
That's right. That's
Oh, that's
right.
that's real. That's real with that format. Because how you say with AI, I feel like AI is not gonna be like adaptive to enough to like really just showcase, hey, this is what it came from instead of, oh, this is what is being made from it. And
Right.
that's one thing. Like that's one of the things I was seeing about with AI components. I remember people was seeing about this thing. I don't know if y'all remember, but FN Mecca that was around for a bit. This was like a whole like AI generated like rapper that was made by two dudes
I
like in a
think so.
like in a basement,
Yes.
like almost like people was
Had a
hitting me
record
up.
deal.
Yeah, like yeah, we got a whole record deal and everything, and people was hitting me up saying I was like biting in the thing style because first thing you ever see about it is lime green, and
Right.
that was the whole like killer part to me. Like it's like you look at it, like they have them like lime green, got gold all. I mean, not even gold, but like grill all in his mouth. like typical, like he like caramel,
Wow.
and I'm like looking at him, I'm like looking at him, and looking at my arm color and everything. I'm like, oh, he do look like me, but then I'm like, oh, that's the format now.
Right.
But
Right.
so it brings me to like one of my final questions with y'all, man. Do y'all have a plan of just like keeping it like well this metaverse wise with this bigger than hip hop podcast, or do you want to expand beyond that?
Oh
Man.
man, we're expanding. We don't stop.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
These virtual walls get kind of small. So
yeah. I mean,
Oh, that
we're
sounds like a shirt.
definitely,
yeah.
I
yeah,
like
we're
that.
definitely we're reaching, outside of the metaverse as well as bringing the outside in, So it's a lot of great moves ahead, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely want to expand a little bit more with bigger than hip hop because it's people who got a lot to say and they're not just here, So you never
And
know
listen, I
where we
think
gonna pop up.
we're six shows in, and it's 50-50 right now. Three were from the metaverse, and three were from outside the metaverse, right? So,
Right.
and the formula works because I
Y'all got a
think,
good ratio.
I mean, listen, it's got to be full circle, man.
Yes.
I think a lot of us that have been here for a while, we were so focused on developing what we were doing in here and trying to make people understand what was going on and bring people into the space. And again, I'm a broken record. Everybody in this audience I know has a person that they know can benefit from the metaverse that just doesn't understand it, right? You don't understand it until you put the headset on and be like, oh, snap, this is what's
Right.
going on. Why you ain't tell me
That
about
part.
this, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think now, man, it's as equally as important to highlight the things we do in this space back outside to the world, right, and make it full circle. Like you're experiencing that now with going to the AWE, right? That's a big deal.
Yes.
Jen, I use Jen as an example. She's connecting her physical world clients and bringing them into the space. The Yo Afro and Friends brand, that's a single-minded purpose is in bringing her community and network of people that she's worked with for 2 to 3 decades and showcase what we're doing in here. But any one of us who has a skill or a talent on the outside has known that we can build it in here, but we want to go now and showcase it out and complete the circle. And I think that's when the magic really happens and when this space really works. Because it's not a
Yeah.
replacement, right? We got to be clear. It's not a replacement. It's just an expansion of the things that we're already doing, and we need to be clear about that distinction between the two.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree.
oh, that's man. I swear, y'all had these answers written down somewhere. I don't know how y'all got to my book, but but no, that's amazing to hear with that format because that's showing you're looking at the longevity of this instead of just the right now. Because
Yeah,
how you said somebody else could find a blueprint to this and make their own schematics from it, and
Yeah.
man, that is the greatest thing ever on here. That's what this is like
yeah,
the real construction of value is instead of
That's
sitting
right.
here, oh well, we're just gonna gatekeep this, we're just gonna keep it all closed. No, this is a factor,
Mm-mm.
like you said earlier, this is full circle.
It
If you're
is.
showcasing this, we're seeing it, why not show it? And that like it's just still the same in the long run, like vice versa. And a lot of cats get steer away from that because a lot of these cats, like Kendrick said in the song, man, they want to be colonizer status now. They want to sit here and just make a few dollars, go on about their way, and then come back when it's like universal. But no, like when you have people on here that hey, this is their lives now. When you got people, hey, again, like I do a show it's not every week. I do a show almost every month on here, and that's the key. Like it's not about just doing it. Oh, because I want to do it. No, I do it because hey, my son is seeing me do this now.
That's
Like my
right.
right.
daughter now is
Yeah,
walking around like she's seeing me on this headset. So not even as that, like it went to a point of, oh, I'm just putting this on the play to now every time I get my headset, my son is like, oh, well, daddy's getting on to work. And not even as
Mm-hmm.
that, so it goes on beyond a factor of like what we could make it to a perception. So man, I thank y'all for what y'all do on
well,
this
listen.
platform.
Let me just say this, how it's like. I just want to be clear. Like everybody that's in the metaverse right now, everybody in this room, everybody that decides to put on a headset and create something, whether it be an experience or a tangible asset, like everybody in here is a pioneer. And I say that because this is still so early. Yes, the technology's been around for 10 to 15 years and it's been talked about probably for 20 to 30 years. But I tell you, when you venture forth into something completely unknown, right? It is no different than being the first person in space, being the first person to traverse across an ocean, being the first person to discover a continent that people didn't already live on.
Mhm.
There's no difference in what we're doing right now into the development of human history. Like with the metaverse, being the first to do things here, and to me, being the first doesn't necessarily always mean being the absolute first person to do it, right? Because
Mhm.
if you do the same thing as four or five other people, there are 8.5 billion people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So whether you're the absolute first or the first set of people to do it, in my opinion, you're still the first, right? Because lands were discovered outside of America as other people discovered lands that they claimed as their own. But I tell you, man, being a pioneer has significant weight, and our story should be told the same way you can watch an old black and white show and be like, man, that was one of the first comedy shows on television that we now have in the archives in the Smithsonian that we can go and recollect and see how it all came about. Like, I think the documentation of our journey in this space is absolutely no different because there will be a time when this technology is adopted as normalcy, right? We won't
Mhm.
turn on the television. We'll put in a device on our head, and this will be our new existence. The way we communicate, the way we do business, the way we showcase ourselves, the way we show up to society. This is going to be the way we do it. It might not be
Right.
Horizon Worlds, but it's not going back into the box, man. The box is open, and now we have to capture that content and control it and be sure that we are telling our own narratives and our own stories. But
That's right.
but with a couple of million people on this planet even understanding what's going on in VR, weighed against the 8.5 billion people that exist. We are the first people to do this, man. And quite honestly, if any one of us doesn't have a statue in a plaza in 50 to 100 years based on the stuff that we do here, I'd be really surprised because we're pioneers, we're trendsetters, and we have to understand that that comes with a significant amount of weight and power and responsibility. However,
It
we want to
does.
do this thing is going to be what's recorded in history.
That's right.
So I choose to do it a certain way, but I'm not exclusive to being great. Everybody has the ability to be great, and everybody has the ability to do it in their certain way. But understand that is what your legacy is going to become, right? There are a lot of famous people in this world, Adolf Hitler being one of them. I don't know if you want to be remembered that way. That just is something to consider as you're continuing to build and grow this space and becoming legendary and basically part of human history.
That's right. That's right.
Man, see, that's why I say, man, that's why medically in the man to keep around, cause he'll give you that insight to you can make sure that you go plant another flower, or he give you that insight, you just sit there and be like, man, he told me that I
Burn a
should have
house
did it.
down.
I should I should have did it. But no, man, I thank you for what you do on this platform, both of you, because
Thank you,
without the
brother.
merger
Thank you too.
between you two, like,
Thank
hey,
you.
we would not be able to see some of these hip hop heads, or not even just hip hop heads, some of these forces behind hip hop come on this platform, and then a lot of times, again, it's bringing that rejuvenation of people who don't know about that era at times
Mhm.
because this is an everlasting open door. So, man, before I even
Mhm.
have y'all leave the
Mhm.
stage, man, do y'all have any words that y'all can just leave up here for anybody that's chasing a format that they just want to make for themselves?
Well,
Ah
let me go
man.
first because I'm gonna let Froze Energy close out the show. So, really, man, all I want to say is this: if you have a vision for anything you want to do, regardless how it's been done or presented by anybody on this platform, do it. Like your goal, your lane is entirely yours. Whatever level of success you see for yourself belongs to you and nobody else. So I don't care if a platform exists and you say, hey, I'd like to see that platform in my own representation, because there can be one of more than one thing, right? That's what makes competition healthy and successful. And that's really what drives innovation. Me alone doing one thing and being mad at everybody for doing the one thing that I'm doing doesn't drive innovation, right? I need the competition and somebody to do it differently to make me realize, man, I didn't even think about doing it that way. Um, so if anybody has ever gotten to any public arguments or issue with anybody based on creativity, understand creativity belongs to you. No one has a right to tell you how to create. That is your gift from God that is being installed from you. Even if you're inspired by something, because we're all inspired by something, whether
That's
you think
right.
about it or not. I built stuff and didn't even remember why I built it, and then I realized it was something I saw from a television show back in 1978. Right, so the inspiration never leaves us. It's all inside of us, and you have the right to do whatever it is you want to do. Um, the only thing I say is just take care of people, right? Because I think we have to do this together, and the road is a lot harder doing it alone as opposed to doing it with people that you care about. And of course, create, love, inspire, and add value. And I think we'll be good.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And for me, listen, any artist, any creative out there, this place right here is a special place. I feel like if you have access, if there's any access to a VR headset, why would you not go ahead and pick it up and expand what you're doing,
Yeah,
expand your gifts, get out there and meet different people from all over the place, not just in one area. You know what I mean? Why not try to expand your brand and sell digital assets, not just selling your music around your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like just keep doing what you're doing. And to me, there's no competition. Like why even feel like there needs to be competition? When you coming up in, like you said, like when you coming up in this space, you get it from somewhere. Some of these, I've noticed that a
yeah,
lot of the creators in the space, their ideas are just flowing, right? Everyone's just flowing. So you got some that really feel like the ideas that they come up with is really theirs. And it trips me out because no, it's not.
it's not.
Not at all. You got that from somewhere else, and it's okay because but you took your time to do it. Nobody, you may feel like nobody else was thinking of it at the time, yada yada yada. But you know what? Because of what you did, you sparked an idea in somebody else, and now they're going to do whatever they want with it. When you publish your
Yeah,
worlds, you're publishing them, and it's okay. So for me, I want to influence others, I want to inspire others, and not for nothing, yo, I come from a dope era. Yo, hip hop, the golden era is so freaking dope. It's a whole vibe regardless. I don't care what you're doing, it will always set fire to a room. So I'm always going to represent that. I've had fun doing that in this space. It's so many people that gravitate towards what I do because they know the vibe, they feel it, and they've lived it and they're doing it. So, yo, we're going to continue to strive. Yo, hip hop is always gonna be around. It's never gonna stop. Y'all don't know what it is. It's the Howard Hours Show, and this is where we at. Yo, hip hop is in the house, and yo, that's it, yo. That's all I gotta say, yo. I'm loving it
hey
for real. Hey,
yo,
yo, y'all
Hey.
already know what it is.
No, big just
and listen,
big
man,
ups
big.
with
I just want to
that.
say big up to you, Howard, too, man.
That's
I
right,
know the
Howard.
journey has not always been easy, but man, let me tell you, for those who have not been in the space almost 3 years like we have, like when I say that Howard is truly a pioneer, like this really is like one of the first dudes to grab the mic and get on stage and do his craft in front of
And
people,
that's what's up.
and that
Yes.
takes a hell of a lot of courage. I mean, you still probably hold the record for most performances in
Yes,
the metaverse
sir.
because
And that's what's
you're
up.
above 300 performances, right? So, man, give the flowers to the people while they're still here and for the work that they've done because your journey has been incredible and it's just beginning.
Yeah.
So many great things planned for you ahead, man. It's been an enjoyable journey to see you and your energy spread throughout this virtual plane that we call home
That's
now.
right.
So big
That's
ups to you,
right.
man. Big
Huge
ups to
Yes,
you.
salute.
no,
No,
thank
for
you,
real.
thank
I
you,
have to
thank
go
you.
ahead and piggyback off of that because Howard, honestly, like you definitely give a huge and a great example of what you can exactly do, what you can do with your artistry. You don't have to just go out there and, here you could do whatever you want. Back in the real world, if you go up into a spot and you're brand new or whatever the case may be, and you go up in the spot and you want to look like an avatar, people looking at you like, what's going on? Where you from? Da da da, because they don't know how to embrace that. But here you could be what you want to be. You could do what you want to do. If you want to wear your hair different colors, if you want your hair to be long and it's really
Right.
short, if you want your hair to be short and it's really long, you could do whatever you want. And you my friend, you were rocking it. You've been rocking it. And that was something that I noticed when I first got up into the space. It was between you and Victor 3000 and Angel. It was like, yo, y'all doing it up in here. Like, I noticed that right off the rip. I was just walking around the spot in the meta streets by myself and just noticing different things. And it was the three of you guys doing y'all thing. And every one of you have your own type of look, your own style, you know, and that's what's up. That just let me know that there's room to grow up in here. You can come up in here and do your thing. So it's important for me to share this with other artists, other independent artists, and my friends. This is why I don't have a problem with looking crazy. Cause yo, I could look crazy all day, but when you put that headset on, you see, then you gonna be looking crazy with me because you gonna end up telling somebody else too. Watch.
Right. Listen,
Straight
I
up.
think if I had to give Howard a tagline, it'd be like, if I don't give a f what you think, I'm gonna do it anyway. Was a person, it'll be Howard. Uh, Seriously, man, because I call back to Woodstock, man, and your first
Yes.
Woodstock thing that you put on, and at the last
Oh my
minute, a lot of
gosh.
people disappeared and abandoned you, and you were just like, man, we're gonna have this show anyway. And literally to this day, one of the dopest performances, seminar, concerts ever. Just
See?
your energy changed that whole environment. Because me, I get emotional. I would have been ticked off. It would have been a depressing funeral of a concert if that was me. But your energy kept that going and brought that thing to life, man. And
Right.
that's kind of what we need in this space, man. So
And that's
just
what's up.
kudos to you,
Yes.
man. Big
Yes.
meta love. Big
Continue
meta love.
winning.
Oh, thank you,
Continue
thank you,
winning.
thank
For
you.
real, for real.
No, thank you, man. Y'all give some big ups, give big ups and some confetti in the air for the great host, man, of Bigger Than Hip Hop podcast. Y'all can check it. Hey, man, y'all can let the people know where they can check out your show too, before y'all even
Oh
hit the stage.
man. You wanna go
Yeah,
ahead and let them know,
Thursdays at
Meta?
7 p.m. Eastern on Lux Vision Studios, streaming it on all platforms, XNAP, Snapchat. I just learned that. But yeah, 7 p.m.
Eastern
7
Standard.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. So we pre-record the show, but it does stream again at that time slot. But go to their social media pages, man, and check out all the other shows that they've got going on. They're doing a lot of phenomenal stuff, and they're helping a lot of creators get exposure in the space. Again, it's about connecting the inside back out to the outside, and Lux Vision Studios is definitely the vehicle to do it. Also, big shout out to some of my partners: Shay, Yada, Jen Smash, Malik,
Word
Links,
up.
Snob Joe, Action Jackson,
Already.
Calhoun, YG. Appreciate everybody for coming out
Hey,
For
tonight.
coming
YG.
out. Definitely Block Collectives up in the house. Y'all already
Yeah,
know how we do.
pay
Thank you for
attention. Pay
coming.
attention. We got a
Yes,
lot of stuff coming. A lot
it's
of
a
stuff
lot
coming.
going on. It's a lot
You
going
want you want to
on.
tell them about our initiative this summer? You want to talk about it? You want to hold on to that one?
We could tell them a little something, something, but I'm gonna let you do the honors of starting off, and then I'll just finish it off because
All right.
I know I just I might say too much. I might say
All
too
right.
much. I might say too much.
So what we'd like to do, and I'm gonna talk to the camera. So for any performer, right, any artist, whether you are an R&B singer, whether you're a hip hop artist, we want to provide venues for you to perform, for you to get paid.
Get
So
paid.
we are gonna start the Yo Afro and Friends Summer Concert Series. We've got a series of 7 different venues to choose from. Just let us know which venue you'd like to perform at, and we'll arrange some of the back end stuff. We'll help in finding a sponsor to sponsor the show to make sure that you get paid, so you won't have to worry about selling your own tickets. We're really relying on the support of the community. Hopefully the support I've given can be reciprocated. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's not about that, right? If you feel like you want to see the artists in this space get paid for what they do, we're going to be seeking sponsors to support and highlight a concert for that artist, right? We're not talking 4 hours. We're talking oftentimes one artist on the stage in an intimate room with people and friends that they care about, and then them getting paid for their talent. So the Yo Afro and Friends Summer Concert Series will be starting soon, and we hope that you will participate and support.
Word up. So stay tuned and stay connected because we definitely gonna be about that life this summer. Is going down. Is so much going down. And
Yeah.
yo, those artists out there that's looking to come up into the space, to go to work, perform, expand your brand, come on in, yo. Come, we're here. We're looking for you. You know, we want to go ahead and spread the vibe. So come on in. For those artists that's already in the metaverse, come on through. And also, check this out. Stay tuned and stay connected because it is going down. This is going down in VR chat. I am going to be holding some dance auditions because Yo Afro is going to be doing something totally different, yet very familiar to everybody that knows the culture well. It's about time that we go ahead and throw these dances up on the stage with me when I'm performing. And if I can get some other artists to do this as well, we going to change the whole game up. But yet, like I said, it's going to look familiar to a lot of hip hop heads that really know the culture. So it's going down.
Can I
audition. Okay. Definitely. If you got those moves and you think that you about that, then you need to come see me. So just stay tuned, stay connected.
Me and Jen Smash going to be your backup dancers. How about that?
Yeah, Jen is also judging. Jen Smash, Boo Bangers. Yeah, it's going down. It is going down. I'm excited about that too. So yeah, definitely.
A lot planned this summer.
And y'all heard it here, man. And that's exclusive on the couch. You feel me? And that's how it goes. Man. So I need y'all to really throw some confetti in the air. From this Yo Afro and Meta Clean Rupert.
It's bigger than hip hop.
Hip hop. Yes. Appreciate y'all.
Word out.
Hey, you just hit the globe right there behind you. Man, y'all throw some confetti in the air, man. That's what it means. That's what real convo go. Man, well, y'all know how that is, man. The clock on the wall say that's all, folks. But not even that's that, man. You know I end every show like this. I'm living proof you can do this. YG. Hey, I see the homie in here, Mr. Links Media, man. Hey, I see you in here. Thank you for staying up tonight, man. What I say? He's been trying to catch the show for the last month, so I'm here. I'm glad you're here tonight. But man, when you stay true to a course, folks, you see what happens. You see, hey, it's not many easy days. It's not many easy nights, but it's many days that you still push through, folks. I'm not telling you that it's all going to happen in 1 year. I'm not going to tell you that it might not happen in 1 day, but it will happen, folks. You stay true to that format, you don't know what you can build or what you can build from it. And hey, it all starts within. And man, this is only the beginning, folks, like how Meta Clean say. So up until next week, folks, I'll be saving y'all a seat. You know how I do, and you know how I say to you. This is your boy HT. How it's 702. Let's get tripping like a kid untied shoes. Thank y'all for rocking with me because I rock with you. Up until next time, everybody's a somebody. Your presence is a presence. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Teray.
CJ Shotner. It's your boy Westside.
And you chilling with the Breaking Bread podcast. Hey, tune in and check us out every Saturday for some good talk.
You already know.
Good
the
conversation.
realest talks. You hear me?
Yeah, tune in.
Breaking Bread. Breaking Bread.
What's up, y'all? It's Meta Clean, and listen, please join me every Tuesday at 10 p.m. for Meta Talks Live. And the awesome thing is, you don't have to leave your house to do it. Meta Talks Live, coming back soon.
Awesome. God bless everybody. I'm so glad, amen, that everything is finding you well, and I pray it's finding you well. This is Pastor Johnny live from our sanctuary here in the Metaverse at Word of Grace Meta Church. I want to invite you out to our service here on Sunday nights for worship and the word, now streaming through Lux Vision Studios. So excited about that and what God is doing in this space and place. See you Sunday. God bless you.